What this little boy endured was, said a judge, sadistic. Those responsible, his stepmother Emma Tustin and father Thomas Hughes, were sentenced over his death.
All I heard was a crack off the floor. He was headbutting the floor on all fours.
Judge Wall said, "This cruel and inhuman treatment of Arthur was a deliberate decision of both of you. You both knew the extent of his suffering at the time and were pitiless and indifferent to it. I have seen no remorse from either of you." It was Tustin who'd delivered the killer blow to Arthur's head after force-feeding him salt. She was warned she could die in prison for his murder. His father had encouraged her and taken part in the beatings. He was sentenced to 21 years for his son's manslaughter. During the sentencing, Arthur's grandmother described him as the sunlight of their lives, but she said he'd been failed by the very authorities who should have ensured his safety. On the last day of his life, Arthur was so frail from his injuries that he struggled to walk. Whether more could have been done to save him will be the subject of an independent review.
And what we've got to make sure now is that we learn the lessons about that case. We look at exactly what happened, what else could have been done to protect that child. And it is early days, but I can tell you this, we will leave absolutely no stone unturned to find out exactly what went wrong in that appalling case.
The abuse began in March 2020, after they'd hurriedly moved in together during the government's first lockdown. In April 2020, Arthur's grandmother reported seeing bruises on his back. Social workers from Solihull Council visited, but concluded it was a happy household and there were no safeguarding issues. His grandmother then told Arthur's school about the referral, but when staff contacted social services, they said they had no concerns. Arthur's uncle also tried to raise the alarm, telling West Midlands Police he had photos of bruising, but he got no reply. Then Tustin's stepfather made an anonymous call to social services, saying he thought the youngster was in danger. Solihull Council says the review into Arthur's death will leave no stone unturned to understand, learn and fix any issues.
This was a very manipulative stepmother who obviously smiled and said, "Oh, it's all fine, he just falls over a lot." Well, you should not be taking that at face value. If you don't join up with all the other agencies involved here in a coordinated way and ask the awkward questions and keep at it until you get to the truth, then it really is a false economy, because more tragedies like this happen.
This is Arthur with his natural mother, who was in prison at the time of his death and remains so. She said he was her life, her purpose, her reason for living. There will be urgent lessons to be learned from his case. Lisa Dowd, Sky News, Coventry.